Coming up on this episode of OutLook TV, Toronto Pride Festival.
Aging with Pride by Community.
Any Other Way, the Jackie Shane story. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to OutLook TV. I'm Emily Ann Fraser.
And my name is T. We'd like to thank the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations for the honor and privilege to film this episode of OutLook TV on their traditional unceded lands.
OutLook TV is the queer magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to coast. And speaking of coast, Andre takes us way over to the other side on the East Coast where Toronto celebrates their Pride.
Hello everyone, salut tout le monde. Toronto Pride Festival in the Gay Village is full of artisans and people having a great time. Let's meet some of them.
So I am an illustrator and I draw portraits with ink on paper and then also using my tablet. And I draw lots of different bodies and I love that people can see themselves in my work. It's important for me to be here so we can celebrate, myself. I'm a bisexual queer artist and also celebrate everybody else.
For the longest time, I never felt comfortable just walking around in public, just existing. And now here with the people I love, I'm able to do that.
Midnight Raven Studios is a small handmade business where we make handmade magic. So witchy products with a little bit of a queer twist. Pride is important to me, particularly as a bisexual woman, because I'm accepted as a queer person even if I'm dating somebody that's straight, even if I'm dating somebody else.
I find these parades, these events very, very friendly. I meet people from year to year. I see people in Windsor and Ottawa. Been doing in Toronto since 2011. The rainbow colors are so pretty. I like to sew clothes and I do the embroidery on the t-shirts.
Because it's a time for the diverse community to come together, celebrate the achievements we've done, to work together and to show that we're all very different, but we all are one community. No matter what we look like, no matter what we sound like, we're a community, and that's why Pride is important to me.
Pride for us is important because it's a way of us giving back to the community that gave us a lot. And it's also just an ability for us to reach out to everybody as possible. So Pride is just a great event that's fun, and so that we can reach out to everybody.
It's important for me to be here, to be amongst my community, to celebrate with my community, and also spread some education on the importance of harm reduction through using safe sex practices or when you're consuming drugs, and how to just party safe and use naloxone and have a great time at Pride.
We specialize in gender affirmation surgery, and we are here at Toronto Pride to spread awareness that we are an option, but we do work with OHIP, and so we're spreading awareness for patients in need.
Today I'm here just to reach out to the community. It's something I've been doing for the last 5 years, and the response is always great, super positive. I love the atmosphere, and can't get better than this show. The artwork is mostly just trying to make people happy, make them smile.
I'm here today to represent my club, which has been around since 1970, and we are one of the first people to actually march in the Pride Parade. Pride's important to me because we need to be visible. There are a lot of people who are trapped in the closet, basically, and we need to be visible so that they know that they're not alone, and that we're all here to have a great time, and that they can make friends, that they can be themselves.
Pride is important to me because of my family. My family is a queer family. I have a trans child. I am in a queer relationship, and I think it's so important to me that my family is accepted and honored.
I'm here today to give back to the community, which have given back so much to me. I'm here volunteering today for TSVL.
Happy Pride everyone, bonne fierté tout le monde, André Tardif in Toronto for OutLook TV.
Our next story is something that Emily knows nothing about. It's called Aging with Pride.
We're here at a wonderful community-based event called Aging with Pride. We have booths, there are free hot dogs for people. It's a senior-specific event, and there's drag queen performances. You should see all of the smiles on people's faces here today.
This event is so special to our local community, and it has such an impact on our senior community, I think the community at large, and we've always had queer people, and it's natural that we have a huge population of queer seniors in our community.
This is Aging with Pride, so we're all getting older. We all need each other, even more than ever. And I get a lot of, just benefit out of, connecting. So connection is healthy.
And what does it mean for you bringing all of these people together?
Well, because they've been very, very important to me for many, many years. It's family. So I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to enjoy the camaraderie. I noticed that the community is passing out the Quirky zine that I'm co-author of. Quirky is the Queer Imaging and Writing Collective for Elders, which I've been a member of since '07, but we've been in existence since '06. And the zine, we're trying to get at least 2 out a year, and they're full of the writings of Quirky members. Memoir, poetry, anything you want to write. I write a lot of political rants.
Just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead.
Because I'm just at the beginning edge of being a senior myself, and I want to see what there is in the way of community and supports for people who are aging, and I'm enthusiastic about supporting that, which is one of the reasons why I chose Community and Friends for Life as my chosen charities to raise funds for this year.
Wake up where the clouds are far behind.
The Rhinestone Phoenix Charity Foundation, who runs the annual Gay Vancouver pageant. There are multiple title holders. This year there's 2 of us. We have Mix Gay Vancouver Jessie, and I am Ms. Gay Vancouver Aria Reddy. And we spend an entire year fundraising for chosen charities. But we also have these little enamel rainbow pins that we are getting donations for. I mean, the queer community gets so displaced from blood family that chosen family becomes so important. And I think as you age and as your friends perhaps aren't around anymore, that having a community and places to come like this just becomes so much more important.
Stand by me. Thank you so much.
This has been Michael Frolick at Aging with Pride for Outlook TV.
Well, it's early to say, but we do have to break now.
Perfect timing. I've got to go cover another story that Emily doesn't know anything about, Penises for Pride.
My name is Glenn Tkach. I am the creator of the Really Gay History Tour, and I am known as the Pink Hat, and you are watching Outlook TV.
Hey, you came back. Welcome to Outlook TV. Our next story is about Jackie Shane.
It's a documentary called Any Other Way, and Jackie was a Black trans singer.
Take it away, David.
Jackie Shane might be one of the best artists that you may not have heard of. If you have heard of her, you already know that. And a new movie is coming out about her life and her groundbreaking transgender identity.
I would bring her back to me.
Heard about Jackie Shane from Michael Mabbitt. Actually, when he approached me to say, do you want to co-direct this with me, co-write it with me, he said, have you ever heard of Jackie Shane? I said I hadn't, which I was surprised because, she's a Black trans woman. I'm Black and trans. I thought I knew a lot about the history, our history, but I think it shows that a lot of this history has been erased, and that's what really drew me to the story.
People have been talking.
Looking for Jackie in about 2015, 2016. I connected with Jackie in 2018 and spoke with her for about a year and a half. And then she passed away. And after saying, let's make this film, the post-production was about 2 years of post, really. And then, of course, there's so much animation in our film. About a third of the film is rotoscope animation.
Tell her I wouldn't have it any other way. It's like, girl, yes.
The amazing thing for me about Jackie's life was that she had a really close relationship with her mother, which isn't the case for a lot of trans people. A lot of trans people don't have those connections with their parents. And then we found out that who she called her mother was actually her aunt, and her aunt had adopted her and raised her and given her the courage to say, this is who I am, get on the stage, just love herself. And I think that's really rare, especially we're talking about the 50s and the 40s, Jim Crow.
Audience, that was probably as close as she could get to the line of speaking about queerness.
When she got to Canada, she felt very safe. And then when she was in Toronto, she just talked about saying, I just knew I was home. And the audiences seemed to receive her incredibly well.
What I'm doing is what I need to do for me. And if you don't like it, that's fine, because I wouldn't have it any other way.
As she toured around Ontario quite a bit, Jackie kind of fed off audiences. She had a very, very intimate connection with audiences. And so she stayed where she could have those connections and played the small clubs in Toronto and in Montreal. And she just didn't play the bigger places. She didn't play Detroit. She didn't play New York.
It was something new, and it was something exciting, and it was something people wanted to see.
Happiest discovery was finding an unreleased song in her incredible archive. And we found it when we were in Nashville with her family going through all of the treasures that she left behind, and we found an acetate record. It looks like something you'd throw out. And fortunately, the family didn't throw this out and sent it to be digitized. And we first heard it surrounded by all of Jackie's belongings, all of her stage outfits, and all of her things. And this song kind of washed over all of us. So in our film, and soon to be in the world, is an unreleased song that Jackie wrote. We think maybe in Los Angeles. It felt like Jackie was there talking to us and saying, here's another one. Put this in the film.
Till I wouldn't have it any other.
So if you want to see Any Other Way, the Jackie Shane story, it's going to be coming soon on Crave and at selected theaters. Don't miss it.
Hey T, do you know about your gay history?
I do, and so can you. Next time you're in Vancouver, make sure to check out the Really Gay History Walking Tour with Glenn.
I am here with Glenn Takoch. He is one of the storytellers for the Forbidden Vancouver Walking Tours. He has specialized in one specific tour, and it's called the Really Gay History Tour of Vancouver.
In 2017, an ad randomly came across my Facebook feed that said for Forbidden Vancouver Walking Tours, and it didn't say that they were looking for tour guides, it said they were looking for storytellers. I'm the only storyteller within the company who's ever been allowed to create their very own walking tour. The most amazing source that I had access to, which not every city has, is something called the BC Gay and Lesbian Archives. So boy are we lucky here in Vancouver to have a man by the name of Ron Dutton, who voluntarily, of his own accord, without any government money or any government mandate to do so, just started keeping an archive in his apartment here in the West End. But something that really struck me as I was doing my research is how many of these unknown stories aren't just of local significance, but of national significance or even international significance. That this is a history that's not just important to Vancouver. Lots of what I talk about on the tour is really the story of Canadian queer history. So for example, the church that we're standing in front of right here, this is the beautiful St. Andrew's Wesley United Church, and this is one of the stops on the tour. And at this stop, this church ties into a story that I tell about the very first openly gay minister that was ordained, not just in Vancouver, but in Canada. And so it's a story of national significance. Someone who inspires me personally, who I talk about on the tour, is an amazing drag queen called Ted North. And he spells his name in all lowercase letters, small t and small n, but boy, did he make an all caps impression. And I never had the privilege of meeting him. He passed away in 2013, which is before I created the tour and before I started digging into this history. But I take a lot of personal inspiration from him. He was instrumental in the fight for decriminalization in Canada. And he made a big impact on then Justice Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau, who then became the Prime Minister of Canada, and who famously decriminalized homosexuality in 1969. About the fact that I wear this pink hat and dress in all pink and wear these letters "Really Gay" on my t-shirt when I lead the tour. Even though this doesn't rise to the level of drag, I'm taking inspiration from Ted when I appear this way, because for him, drag was political and it was important for him to be visible. And for him, he was drawing attention to his message by drawing attention to himself. And so that's something that inspires me to the importance of being visible and the importance of making a visual statement. You know, this expression that if you don't know your history, you'll be doomed to repeat it. I think that's true, but I think there's more to it than that. I think that understanding our history helps us to understand where we are in the present. It helps us to understand how we got here, and that makes us more well equipped to be able to navigate our way to the future. So for me, the past is important for that reason. We need to know where we are on the map, and our past is like the "you are here" arrow that tells us where we are and how we got here, and we can better frame where to go from here.
We'd like to thank Glenn Tukoch for having talked to us. My name is Albertus Roskam for Outlook TV.
Well, we're going to have to take a little break now, so you might as well take a shot of that gay little fairy.
Hi, we're the Rhinestone Phoenix Charity, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back to Outlook TV. Our next story was a bit of a blur for myself. Angus, can you show us more about the Canada Pride Festival that took place just over behind me at Concord Pacific?
Vancouver is the host city for the Canada Pride Festival this year as part of the annual Vancouver Pride celebrations, which are going to be some of the largest ever. Today we're at the Van Pride Fest site where we're going to meet some people and see what they're doing for 2024.
Losing the fight.
We've got 5 people on the board, and we direct the organization. It's we call ourselves a home for Canada's LGBTQ aviation folks. This is for everybody, whether they're in aviation or enjoy aviation or they're allies of us. And it's an organization, a not-for-profit, for anyone who's interested in aviation in Canada and is either part of the LGBTQ community or is an ally of us. It's completely diverse, all trades and occupations within aviation and any part of our community or allies.
I am a lifelong author. I've been writing for as long as I could hold a pen. I started off writing fan fiction as a kid, and no, you can't read it. It was so cringy. But this is my first full-length novel. It's called The Jet Racer. It's a coming-of-age novel with a queer aviation theme.
Yeah, so we are Bookworm Games. We're a Canadian TTRPG and gaming accessories company, which means that we supply all the fun things you need to play the role-playing games you love, like Dungeons & Dragons, as well as all the accessories that go along with it.
I've branched out into a lot of other things. We do a lot of 3D printed familiars, which are like those guys over here, including several of our own designs in that realm. We also do like jewelry and stickers and pins and hand-poured candles and tea and stuff.
We're Out TV. Happy Canada Pride. Well, we are the Rhinestone Phoenix Charity. Our whole thing is raising money for charity all year long. Our 2 chosen charities this year is Friends for Life and Community. So then today we're raising money by selling pins down here at the festival. They're $5 or any donations. We're having fun. We're enjoying the sun and switching it out and having just so much fun raising money for both of our chosen charities.
So we are with Community, and we are BC's Queer, Trans, and Two-Spirit Resource Center. We offer all kinds of different programs, services, drop-ins all throughout the province. We offer in-person drop-ins, and we also offer online versions or counterparts for folks all across the province.
We've been around for about 7 years now, and we primarily produce LGBT-focused events within the interior British Columbia. So everything from Peak Pride, which now takes place at Sun Peaks the first week of March every year, to Fruitcake, Cusick, and we do a number of different drag shows and drag brunches throughout the year. It's actually our first year here. We've primarily in the past focused a bit more on smaller Pride festivals, but we're really happy to be here during Canada Pride.
Never like this
For Outlook TV, this is Angus Pratt at the Canada Pride Festival at Vancouver Pride 2024.
Coming up next, James has the scoop on an event that was a 50-plus only. T, what's that about?
It was a storytelling event put on by In Our Day Collective.
Check it out.
We are at Once Upon a Time, Queer Stories and Fairy Tales, where seasoned members of the community take to the stage. Let's find out what it's all about.
Once I had a secret love that lived inside the heart of me.
The first of 4 storytelling salons with a feature of elder or 50-plus queer community members. Focus is on our generative lived experience, all we've learned through all of that struggle, and we want to bring that to community and we want to share it. Just an amazing cast of storytellers. We have 15 storytellers, 3 acts, and when we first started out in the collective with Jackie Haywood, Robert Ablenis, myself, Alan Morgan, Nazim Murji, and Jan Radford, we didn't think we'd get any storytellers. Well, we have had to have a second list already for the second event. The appetite and the interest is very strong.
There was nothing that represented faces like mine. So with Gay Asians Toronto, we started an Asian AIDS project that featured people like me on posters.
I'm originally from Toronto, and I moved here to Vancouver in the early 90s. And when I came to Vancouver, I did a little bit of community work. I joined AIDS Vancouver. I became chair of the board, and during that time I started a couple of organizations. One was called the Asian Support for the Intervention of AIDS, Asia, and also the Vancouver AIDS Memorial Society. So those are a few of my projects.
But she didn't really get it all out, because when I said, I'm a woman, bitch number 2 barked, like hell you're a woman. I think that's an it, said number 3. Hospitalized in a mental hospital for being a lesbian. It was quite a few years ago, so that sort of thing was okay. So I had several admissions, including shock treatments. So all just for being a lesbian, because I really wasn't crazy in any sense of the word. But, you know, kind of went on from there. I knew I was a lesbian, but it did take me a while to find a community, and that just made everything so different. An event like this, an even bigger community, is really great. I'm in my 70s now. These people, even the ones I don't know, they're my friends, they're my family. So I feel really lucky and just really lucky.
The next time she came back, she had a bottle of baby duck. I whipped up all the height of it, and we fell into it with gusto.
From Once Upon a Time at the Junction Pub in Vancouver, this is James Goodman for Outlook TV.
Oh, would you look at the sun? That's all the time we have for this episode of Outlook TV. But like every time, we'll be back for more.
But make sure you don't look directly in the sun, but look at your phones and check us out on all our social media platforms, or better yet, consider volunteering with us.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Emily Ann Fraser.
And my name is T.
Happy Pride, Canada.